Hey, what is going on, Monkey Pod universe? I've got a quick update for you on some changes that you will likely see showing up in your Keap account in the near to short term future if you haven't already noticed them. So, if you build automations, which were formerly known as campaigns, if you use the advanced automation builder inside Keap, it is getting a facelift, right? The actual builder will look and feel different as you are moving the icons around and designing the automations that support your business. Now, I have a wide range of personal opinions on this change, but none of those actually matter. This change is coming. And so the sooner that we can all get on board with it, familiarize ourselves with it, the more easily we'll be able to adopt it and seamlessly move forward and start using the new interface. So the function of this video is to give you a quick tour of what this new interface will look like. But the biggest changes that I want you to be aware of are that what were previously known as goals and sequences, the primary building blocks for our automations, are now going to be called wins and thens. So the language, the vernacular we use is changing, but the functionality behind them is still effectively the same. When this happens, then this happens. So goals, which were previously the triggers, are now wins, WHEN. And sequences, which would be the container that housed the actions we wanted to have happen, are now thens. So when this happens, then this happens. Goals, sequences, actions, triggers, use whatever language makes the most sense to you. We will still be able to automate processes that support our customers and help us grow our businesses. That is it for my quick little intro here. Let's jump in and take a look at these changes in the software. Okay, so if you recall, when you jump into an advanced automation, you start off on the canvas that looks like this. And this is how you have built automations inside of Keap for years, with goals and sequences and configuring the goals and then using the sequences as containers to house whatever steps you want to take place to the contacts who are experiencing it, applying tags, sending emails, etc., etc. And all of that functionality is still there. But now they are enabling this toggle so that you can experience the new automation builder. And when you do, you'll notice immediately that it looks pretty different. So you have the list on the left-hand side of wins and thens that you can choose from. And just like you would drag out goals, you still drag these out, and some of the configuration options will be identical. But the way that it looks, the structure of the automation is just a little bit different. The interface is different. And then you go to the thens section and choose what action you want to automate as a result of the win that was met. And when you add that, it will pop out a dialog window that indicates you are defining the bundle of actions. So this is sort of like what the sequences used to be, but it's a little clearer that you are in a nested component of the automation builder. So when you go into a sequence, it pops out in a window, and then you can still connect the different elements to define the automated flow you want your contacts to experience as they work through this automation. You do have some options to toggle it from draft to ready right from this level. And of course, as with before, you can publish. There's a little checklist that it runs through, and once you have published, like with before, you have access to the reporting tab. Now, my understanding is they still have some improvements to make here, and they're hoping to add some visual reporting options. But you can dig into the open rates or the last 7 days, the last 30 days, the same sets of filters we had access to previously. So I recommend playing around with this and giving them feedback as you have it. Okay, so there you have it, my friends. Some pretty substantial aesthetic changes coming to how the automation builder interface looks. The sooner that we can all get comfortable with the language as well as with any behavioral or functional differences that come along with this, the better. my recommendation is to start using this, right? If you are presented with the option to toggle it on or to toggle it off, obviously feel free to choose whatever is most comfortable for you. But the more people who start using it sooner, the more feedback we will be able to provide for them, as they are undoubtedly making changes or improvements to it over the upcoming weeks and months. Now, before I wrap this video up, I just want to quickly address a question I know I had, and many of you might be asking as well, which is why? Why did they pursue and prioritize this visual change to the automation builder? And I think that there are probably a couple of different answers. I would wager that this visual change also represents some functional back-end architectural changes that allow the Keap team to do more, to offer more integrations, to add more triggers more easily, right? So while it may appear to us as an aesthetic change, some different colors, some different, look and feel for the buttons, I would imagine that they wouldn't have done this if it didn't also include some structural changes to the back-end engineering side of this that will set everyone up for more progress more easily moving forward. But the second reason that I believe or know that they are pursuing this change is because they did some user testing, and the existing automation builder interface, people struggled to use it without a whole lot of context. I feel like it makes sense and it's intuitive, and maybe you feel the same way, but for new users interacting with it for the first time, they struggled to build a functional automation without a lot of time or a lot of guidance. And so in their user testing, this new interface helped people build automation more quickly with fewer questions and less friction right off of the jump. So that's the explanation that I was given. I haven't seen that data. I didn't conduct those user testing surveys, but I have to trust that if the data is showing them this interface is more intuitive for new users, that moving forward, it will help small businesses be successful more easily. And that might mean more friction for the existing user base, because we have to now take the things that we were doing or felt comfortable and relearn how to do them with a new set of tools. But in the long run, this should be good for the community, as it helps new people start with Keap more easily moving forward. So that may not feel great if you are a longtime user and you loved the way that it worked previously, but the intention here is to set the ecosystem up for everyone, including those people who haven't yet started with Keap and will join at some point in the future, and they want an easy onboarding path as well. So that is it for this update on the automation builder. If you already have this change, feel free to explore it and to play with it. I know that they've rolled it out to some alpha and beta groups for testing. If you don't yet have this change, stay tuned. I'm sure it will be rolling out to all Keap accounts over the upcoming weeks and months. And once you have it, feel free to submit any feedback you have to their team. I'm sure they will be accepting that graciously and working to implement any improvements or changes moving forward. Thanks, friends. If you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with any other Keap users you believe it can serve. Take care.